Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode, part 1. So, uh, based on our discussion in our last episode, which was a brief introduction, today we will work on some actual examples and some real problems. So, in this episode, I will focus on the problems relevant to arrays and hashing. So, use this pattern when the problem asks you to find duplicates. So, usually in the array, you're asked to check if there is any duplicate or count the frequencies or find pairs of complements, group similar items, perform fast lookups, track visited elements, map one value to another. So in this kind of scenarios, we need to understand how to work with arrays, how to manipulate arrays to do all these investigations and solve all these types of problems. So let's work on some of the examples. One of the first example is the two sum. So it is an array question. It says given an array of integers num. So you are given an array and an integer target, also a number target. Return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. What does this mean? This means that you are given an array like this, 11, 15, 2, 7. So it is an array. And you are given a target number also, it is number 9. Now you need to go through this list or array and see which two numbers to be added that is equal to 9. For example, you add 11 and 15 or 11 and 2 or 11 and 7, or so you find two numbers in this array that if you add them together that becomes equal to 9. That in this example, if you add 2 and 7, that equals 9. So now you need to return the index of these numbers. So now always when you are asked a question, first write down what are the inputs, what are the outputs, that way, and what operations you need to do in order to get that output. So that way it makes it much easier for you to solve the problem. And one more point for you, that when you are being asked any question during any interviews, always try to solve the problem the brute force way in the beginning, because there you are trying to represent your knowledge, your capability of understanding the problem. And when you understand the problem, that is like more than half of the solution. So once you solve a problem, the brute force approach, then after that, if you have time, you can optimize that. But usually during the interview, you're not asked to provide the most optimized solution. There you are asked to provide a solution, to explain the problem. When you explain the problem and solve the problem, that means you have answered the question. And of course, if you have time, you can optimize it, or if you don't have time to optimize that, still that is fine. But always try the brute force for the first time. So, for example, in this array, if you look at this array, you know that if you add 2 and 7, that is 9. But how you solve it in a logical way, because the computer, the programming language that you write the program in, that doesn't have an eye like human beings, so it has to process every element and has to find the two elements that add them together, and that becomes 9. So the brute force approach is that, well, you take the list, you start from the first element, and you check this element with all the rest of the element. For example, first check number 11, add number 11 and number 15. Is it number 9? No. Then go to the next one, 11 and 2. Is it equal to 9? No. Then go to the next one, 11 and 7. Is it equal to 9? No. Then go to then start the second element, 15. So you always move forward with this kind of examples, because you already checked number 11 and number 15. Now it doesn't make sense to check 15 and 11 again. So you move forward. Now this time take number 15. Number 15 and number 2, 9? No. Number 15 and number 7, 9, 2? It is not no. So then you go to the next element, 2 and 7. Finally you found the answers, and you get the index of this two element and return that. So now let's see how we can do that. So you need to define a for loop for I in range. So you need to get the length of this list, range length list nums. Okay, so now for each element you have to loop through the rest of the element. So you need to make another for loop for j in range. So this time this internal loop, it doesn't have to begin from the first one, it has to start from the next one. That means if it is I, the internal loop has to start from I plus 1. So you say you start from I plus 1 and continue until the length of the array, until the last element, length num, like this. So each time, so that you process them, you compare them with the target. So at first number I represent number 11 and j represent number 15. So you say if nums at index I, which is 11, plus nums at index j, which is 15, if it equals to target, that means you have found the two elements that when you add them together and that become equals to the target. For example, number 9, you just return the index, and the index is I and j. So you say return you return an array, of course. So I and j, like this. That's it. So now let's run this and see if everything is right or not. Yeah, you see all the test cases passed successfully. So this way you have at least solved the problem. That means you know what is the problem. You could analyze the problem. If there is an interviewer, he knows that your problem solving skill is good. So now if you have time, you can optimize this. You can use different approach to solve this in a shorter time. But that should not be a concern for you. But let's take another approach also. Usually, so when I was searching different approach to solve this problem, I came across another interesting problem which was much faster than this, and that is taking benefit of some mathematical knowledge. So in mathematics, you know that for example, if you say like 2 plus 7 equals 9, this means that 9 minus 2 equals 7, and this means 9 minus 7 equals 2. You see, there is a relation between them. Using this mathematical advantage, you can solve this problem the easier way. That means you just need to take one loop and subtract all these numbers from the target and see if the result exists in this list or not. How you can do this? So you can do this using a dictionary like this. Let's create a dictionary. So now, for example, when you are checking the first element, for example, number 11, so first you save number 11 here, number 11, and its index is 1. Number 15, its index is 2. Number 2, its index is 0, 1, 2, 2. Oh, I think I made a mistake. It is 0, it is 1, because index starts from 0. And number 7, that index is 0, 1, 2, 3. So now you look through this list and subtract each of them from the target, and if this result exists in this dictionary, that means you have found both of the elements, and you have the first index from your loop, and you get the second index from this list. So let's see how we can do that. Okay, so now let me make this as a comment. Okay, so let's define a loop for I in range len nums. So first create a dictionary. You can give it any name, but try to be giving a meaningful name that makes sense. That what does it mean? That means that in this dictionary you keep adding all the elements that you have already checked them. So I'm naming it as scene equals. So now it is empty. So now you need to check all these elements against the target. So you say for, you need to get the index and numbers, both of them, for I in range for I in, so you need to get you can use the function enumerate to get the index and the element itself. For example, the index is 0, the element is 11, so enumerate get both the index and the element itself. So you need to get them nums. So now you can say that your complement, you're looking for its complement equals target minus num. Target minus num. So now, for example, here a complement is target is 9, num is 11. So 9 minus 11, that is minus 2. So you check, is minus 2 in this dictionary or not? If it is not there, that means that is not the right number. So you say if this complement is in scene, that means you have found your numbers, then you return them as an array. So for example, you said minus 11 plus 15, it was not. 15 minus 9, it was not. And when you come here 9 at 2, when you say 9 complement, target is 9, number is 2. So when you say 9 minus 2, that equals 7. And when you check that, do you have the number 7 in this dictionary? And you're like you can see that yes, it exists in the dictionary. That means you have found your number. So you have the index of number 2 from this I, you have the index of this number 2 here from this, and now you need to get the index of number 7, which is already stored in this dictionary. So now you need to get the index of number 2, and the index of number 2 is, so it should be like 0 1 2, it is 2. And how you can get that? You can get that from this dictionary, from this list. So you say that get this from scene complement. So complement is number 7, and when you say scene complement, that means you are getting number 3, and the index of 2 is I. So this way you get both of the indexes. So however, if you check that, for example, number 11, first you check number 11, 9 minus 11, it was not in the list. So you add this to your list and go to the next one. So you say scene index num equals I. So now let's run this and see what happens. So what does it say? Name enumerate. That should be enumerate. Complement, name complement is not defined. Complement. There are some spelling mistake. Okay, so complement is not defined again. Oh, okay. Let me make a copy of that, and that is much easier. Yes. Yeah, finally you see all the test cases passed. So the concept behind is that you make a dictionary, and you subtract all the numbers from the target, and you see if the result exists in this dictionary or not. If the result exists in the dictionary, then get the index of the result from the dictionary, and the index of this number that should be coming from here. This way also you can make much easier. So until the next session, have a nice time. If you have any questions, you can comment them. However, once again, I repeat that always try the brute force first, so that you should show the person that, hey, you have understood the problem, and you know that understanding the problem is more than half of the solution. So this helps you a lot. If you have time, you can use different techniques, mathematical approaches to make it more optimal. Otherwise, you are fine. And until the next lesson, have a nice time, everyone.